The drone presented at this year's Maker Faire in the Bay Area is absolutely amazing, and for several reasons. First, it looks just like the real Lego helicopter, with each piece cut and painted to perfection. That includes the classic minifig pilot. In fact, the drone actually reproduces a helicopter from a real Legoland set, the classic set 6396 International Jetport, which Woodworth says was his favorite of the Lego helicopters. But what is more amazing is actually seeing it fly. It is really weird as the rotor moves too slowly to take flight, not to mention the fact that the weight and aerodynamics of the ABS plastic bricks would never allow such a thing to fly, no matter its scale. Of course, the rotor is just for show. It even moves at the same speed of other motorized Lego helicopters. The actual lift, however, is generated by a quad rotor setup, with each rotor anchored to the studs at each end of the helicopter's legs. The entire thing weighs 4 pounds. But it looks a whole lot heavier. Other than drones, Woodworth also makes unusual submarines, like a A-Wing Rebel fighter. Woodworth told Tested that the A-Wing is part of his current submarine kick, taking Star Wars models and adding parts for underwater navigation. Drones making deliveries is, of course, the hot new hyper-local tech play. But where are these futuristic aircraft supposed to land? On the lawn? Matternet has built a landing station for its cargo drones that looks less like a piece of infrastructure and more like a death ray from a 1960s sci-fi movie. Far from the freeform delivery network envisioned by Prime Air or the like, Matternet's drone deployments have been fixed point-to-point affairs focused on quickly connecting a handful of locations that frequently trade time-sensitive deliveries. The company has performed pilot tests in Switzerland and North Carolina, and just started a new one in San Diego in which medical facilities are able to send blood samples, medications, and soon, one hopes, vaccines and other supplies back and forth without worrying about traffic or other complications on the ground. But there's the problem of where exactly the drones land. And what happens afterwards? Does someone have to swap out the battery? Who says when it's safe to approach the drone and how to detach its payload? Whatever the process is, it could probably be easier and more automated. And that's what the station aims to accomplish. With its techno-organic curves and flower-like hatch on top, the 10-foot-tall station seems to channel the likes of Star Trek, the original series, and Lost in Space. And no doubt it's intended to be eye-catching as well as functional. When the drone arrives, the top opens and the drone lands right in the center, where it is enclosed and grasped by the station's machinery, unburdened of its payload and given a fresh battery. The payload is contained in the tower until it's called for by an authorized person who scans a dongle to receive their package. It's a pretty good idea, I'd say. If there are multiple deliveries or drones, however, the one inside will leave and enter a kind of holding pattern about 60 feet above in an imaginary donut. The station will get its first installation in the second quarter of this year at one of Matternet's existing customer hospitals. Presumably, though, it will roll out more widely once this shakeout period ends. One of the new products unveiled at CES this year is a new kind of home security system, one that includes drones to patrol your property along with sensors designed to mimic garden lights and a central processor that brings it all together. Sunflower Labs debuted their new Sunflower Home Awareness System, which includes the sunflower's motion and vibration sensors that look like simple garden lights, but can actually populate a map to show you cars, people, and animals on or near your property in real time. The Bee, a fully autonomous drone that deploys and flies on its very own with cameras on board to live stream video, and the Hive charging station for the bee, which also houses the brains of the operation for crunching all the data gathered by the component parts. Roving aerial robots keeping tabs on your property might seem a tad dystopian and perhaps even unnecessary when you could maybe equip your estate with multiple fixed cameras or sensors for less money and with less complexity. The system doesn't come cheap, which shouldn't be a surprise. Given what it promises to do on paper, it starts at $9,950 and can range up depending on your specific property's custom needs. The company is accepting pre-orders now with a deposit of $999 required and intends to start delivering the first orders to customers beginning sometime in the middle of this year. When are 2 propellers better than 4? When they give you extra battery life, greater portability, and reduced noise. That claim comes from 00 Robotics. That's the pitch for the company's V-Copter Falcon. It's a bicopter drone with an impressive flight time of, get this, 50 minutes. 20 minutes more than the comparable DJI Mavic 2. Now, for years, 4 propellers have been standard for consumer drones, offering greater power and stability, but 00 says its tilt-rotor design, which lets each propeller swivel independently, allows the Falcon to match 4 prop rivals. Tilting the propellers improves the drone's aerodynamic profile, says the company, reducing drag. Add to this the reduced battery drain from running fewer propellers and the drone's compact form when the 2 arms are folded, and you have a pretty convincing sales pitch. In addition to its bicopter design, the Falcon looks kitted out for aerial photography and videos. There's a 12-megapixel main camera mounted on a 3-axis gimbal along with a Sony CMOS and Qualcomm ISP capable of capturing 4K video at 30 frames a second. There's also a pair of stereo cameras on the main body that enable visual tracking and obstacle avoidance, similar to features offered on the company's Hover 2 selfie drone, which some Kickstarter backers are still waiting to receive. 00 is also promising easy filming on the Falcon with pre-programmed flight paths for cinematic shots. We've seen video of the Falcon flying, but want to try it for ourselves to test its battery life and flightability. Overall, though, it's an interesting package. The V-Copter Falcon is available to pre-order for its retail price of $999, with shipping starting sometime of February this year. With the new season of Drone Racing League premiering this month, its competitors will be racing the 4th version of its high-speed first-person view drone. That machine, called the DRL Racer 4, can accelerate from 0 to 90 miles an hour in under 1 second. It has a carbon fiber canopy and has 1,000 colorful LED lights. And thanks to the league's decision to enter the consumer drone market, well, that means you'll be able to pre-order a street-ready version of your very own. The league has launched the DRL Racer 4 Street as a Kickstarter project with an estimated delivery date of April 2020. After many requests to purchase a Racer 3, we made sure to answer the demand with the street version of our next generation drone, the project's description reads. The league promises a true field-ready version of the DRL Racer 4 drone with the same power configuration. However, its electronic systems will be redesigned to support off-the-shelf and plug-and-play parts, so you can easily find components and fix it if it breaks. The bad news is that the league can only offer shipping within the US at the moment. However, if you guys want to change that, you are more than welcome to send me one here in Australia. Though it may open orders to other regions if there is enough demand. I've already told them of my interest. I hope everybody else does too. You'll have to take a survey online to let the league know. If you are in the US, you'll have to pledge $5.99 to get a DRL Racer 4 Street drone as a reward.